Everyone, this is Michael. Be recording a pick-by-pick draft tutorial in the Hearthstone arena. I actually took a break from Hearthstone for a few months. Maybe I have a few videos from like November or something, and I went back only after the official release. Last time I played, it was still in closed beta. So I played for a few weeks, got back into the action. I saw the changes to some of the cards, some nerfs. Basically, like a week ago, I got my first 12-win arena run, so I feel confident enough to get back to teaching. Yeah. So anyway, got my hero pick. Right here. Usually I would go for the Paladin. It's by far the safest choice. Very straightforward and useful hero ability. Relatively easier to play. Less random. The weapons are very strong. Basically, in general, I would go for the Paladin. And for some unknown reason, I really suck at playing Shamans. I don't know why. Maybe it's the randomness, maybe it's I don't know, it's a weird combination of control and aggro at the same time with the overload ability. Well, anyway, I'll go for Gul'dan, the Warlock. He's actually quite tricky to play right, but I like the challenge, so yeah, I'll go for Gul'dan. And worst case scenario, I'll lose horribly, so who cares? A few things about the Warlock deck. Basically, I used to think when I was just getting into Hearthstone that if you can draw cards, you should be able to stall, right? You wanna, stall the board, kill off as many creatures as you can, trade, then win by your card advantage. And theoretically, for example, in Magic the Gathering, it would work. In Hearthstone, it doesn't work as well. In order to take control of the board, you usually need quite a strong tempo advantage, which the Warlock cards, I mean, they can give you that ability, but you need to focus on that and draft accordingly. Okay. Has the imps, the one mana cost imps, both of them are very good. Mostly the one without the stealth. But without further ado, let's jump into the picks. This is a pretty easy pick. The Bloodsail Corsair is generally pretty useless. The arena. The Injured Blade Master, the 4/3 for 3 mana, which is quite decent. He's pretty good, but he's not on the level of Defender of Argus. It can swing the tempo, it can give you card advantage. It's very versatile, it can save your ass sometimes when you're in desperate need of taunt guys. So, right off the bat, strong pick, Defender of Argus. Okay, next, Priestess of Elune. I don't like her. 6 mana for a 5/4 body is definitely nothing to be excited about. The restore 4 health to your hero. Don't like healing up myself, even though in a Warlock deck it might be more useful. But again, I want to be aggressive, and I want to have a lot of life because he wasn't attacking me. He was trying to defend and trade with my creatures. Yeah. So anyway, the raid leader. I used to think he's okay, then I lowered my perception and thought he really sucked. Now I believe he's somewhere in the middle, but I don't need to make this choice. It's very situational. Yeah, I mean, in a Paladin deck, it might be fairly useful. In a Shaman deck, definitely. Yeah, because the opponent doesn't expect that your 0/2 guys totems will attack him out of nowhere. But I don't need that to make this decision. I'll go for the Worgen Infiltrator. Very strong first drop. Against pingers, you probably want to keep him in stealth at least for the first couple of turns. Works well with my philosophy of the aggressive start in the deck, so that's our pick. Okay, Warlock Raider is like a Worgen Infiltrator, but much worse. If like, there's no dilemma, right? The Shield Master is very cost efficient. It can swing the tide of battle sometimes. I actually like the Stormwind Champion quite a bit, but he's very expensive. Right now, I'm not sure how the deck will, will form. So I'll go with the safe pick, middle range drop, very cost efficient. Okay, this pack doesn't have anything I really like. Okay, I don't trust the Wind Fury ability enough to warrant a 1/1 for 1. The Summoning Portal, sometimes it can randomly be really good, but usually it's not. It's pretty expensive on its own, especially I have, like, the only creatures I have are 4 drops. Power Overwhelming can sometimes be very useful, both as a finisher, as a removal spell. It's situational, I won't lie, but it has some potential, especially if I decided I want to be hyper aggressive. It's cheap, yeah. So, and we'll hope for the best. Wow, that sucks. Okay, Sacrificial Pact, awful card. I need to sacrifice my own guys to restore health and a card. Yeah, no way. Don't care that it costs 0 mana. So this is a dilemma, but I think I'll go with the Lord of the Arena. Besides the, awesome name, yeah. It can sometimes be very useful. It's relatively cost efficient. Well, it's definitely better than the Summoning Portal anyway. Okay, next up. The Silverback Patriarch. I used to think he's really terrible, now I think he's just below average. If you wanna stall, he's actually pretty good. I'm not a big fan of the Stormpike Commando, but it's a decent pick. It's a 5-drop that I don't have yet, but it's okay. I only drafted 5 cards. I'm not very scared of the mana curve imbalance yet. And I really like the Dread Infernal. I mean, even though maybe, in a constructed deck I wouldn't play it because it's too expensive, it might kill off half my guys, but in a draft it's very cost efficient. 6/6 for 6, it's okay. The Battlecry can be very useful if you plan ahead. So I'll hope for the best with my Dread Infernal. Okay, now we're getting to the easier parts. The Mogushan Warden is actually more annoying than I originally expected. It basically takes time to kill it, but again, it's definitely below average. And the Fairy Dragon is actually very good. I don't have 2 drops. I want 2 drops. I want cheap creatures in this deck. The ability is sometimes very useful, sometimes not, but like against a mage deck especially, it's really great. Go with the Fairy Dragon. Okay, the Succubus. At first I thought it might be worth the tempo gain, right? Because you get, let's say, a good 3-drop, right, for 2 mana, especially with a coin. The other guy is in trouble, but he's actually not that much in trouble because there are quite a few ways to deal 3 damage, right? There are quite a few 3/2 drops for 2 mana, etc. So these days I really don't like it. I mean, maybe if I had the choice of what card to discard, but a random card, no way. 2/3 for 2. That's actually okay. but I think I'll go with the flesh-eating ghoul. It can sometimes grow quite substantially. If I'm aiming for the lower cost, smaller creatures, it might be very relevant. You know, if I trade, then it's easier for him to get big. And I hope I'll get just better 2-drops. Yeah. Okay, as we said before, I really don't like the Dragonhawk. Summoning Portal is situational. Actually, this specific deck might actually end up being relevant, yeah, because it's good when you have like quite a lot of guys that cost like 4 or higher, right? Then you can, you know, spray them all around the board faster. But I don't know, the Warlord is very solid. Hopefully I'll have some board control, so I'll have like a couple of creatures. It's a 5-drop, which I need. I'll go with the Warlord and hope for the best. Okay, Mana Wraith. In general, in arena decks, it's too situational. Don't like it. It's 2/2 for 2, which is definitely not good enough. The Sun Fury Protector is quite good. It's a solid body for 2 mana. It has a very useful battle cry in late game. But unfortunately for the Sun Fury Protector, I have Siphon Soul in this pack, which is awesome. It's pretty much the only spot removal there is for Warlocks. Yeah. Yeah, the other alternative is to deal 4 damage. So I like the Siphon Soul much better. But again, I'm climbing the mana curve and I don't like it. I really need to invest in cheaper cards right now. Okay. Corruption is pretty bad. I mean, when would you like to play it? When the other guy has, I don't know, pretty big creatures, so he just trades with your, you know, with the best guy you have, etc. I mean, I don't know. It loses tempo, it costs a card. I mean, sometimes it's good when you don't have another option. Yeah, you have to kill something, and that's the only way I have. But I don't need this dilemma, because first, the Ironforged Rifleman is okay. I would rate it as about average. Again, situational, but the Shattered Sun Cleric is really awesome. It got nerfed from the since the beta, but it's still very good. It's a 3-drop, so that's good. Yeah, okay. The Youthful Brewmaster is pretty good. I like it. Sometimes because I can bounce creatures like the Sun Cleric or the Defender, or even just a big guy that's really wounded, and have another go at it. I can drop it as a 2nd drop. Don't be shy. Yeah, the Battlecry doesn't have to be an advantage at all. Yeah, a 3/2 for 2 mana is quite okay. My dilemma here is between the Brewmaster and Soulfire. Soulfire is very efficient at producing tempo swings, right? He drops like a 4-drop, and with 0 cost you kill it off. Well, I mean, it's a removal spell as well, even though it's a card disadvantage. So even though I like the Brewmaster, I'm not even considering the Tidehunter. It's not that bad, but there's no reason to take him over the Brewmaster. Yeah, they sit on the same mana slot, etc. I'll go with the Soulfire. I feel that I have too many creatures and not enough removal spells. Yeah, I have like 1.5, which is not enough. I'll go with the Soulfire to keep my options open, etc. Okay. Priestess of Elune, we discussed. Lord of Arena, I have 2 6-drops already. You see my mana curve. I don't like it. I'm gonna go with the 2-drop. It's not amazing. I don't have weapons, but 2/3 for 2 mana sometimes can be very useful. Sometimes it's better than a 3/2 for 2 mana. So I'll go for the mana curve. Oh, interesting dilemma. Another Soulfire or Loot Hoarder. I actually like this guy quite a lot. usually it produces some form of card advantage, even if not tempo advantage. But I think I'll go with the Soulfire and hope for the best. I need cheap, cost-effective creatures right now. Wow. So many good options. Okay. The Void Terror first up. Sometimes it can be really good. Okay, if you play. If you have only a decent mana curve, okay, and you know one of the the Bloodsail Raider survives for one turn, and then you play turn 3, 5, 6, it can be a game changer. And I'm not even talking about coins and stuff. 3/3 for free actually is not that bad by itself. I like the Demolisher. It can take control of a game. And the Sunwalker is obviously amazing. We all know that. He's really good in any deck. So this is a real question of what direction are we looking for in this deck. And I think I'm gonna go with the ballsy move of Void Terror, because I feel that my mana curve is pretty high as is. And besides, I want to try out, new strategies. I never play the Void Terror in a draft. So, yeah, let's hope. And if it gets silenced, then I'll be really screwed. Ah, man, this really sucks. Yeah. Okay, let's compare the Wind Fury Harpy to a Chilled Wind Yeti. Yeah, they have the same stats, and I paid 2 more mana for Wind Fury. Now, basically, damage-wise, it's actually a good deal if for some reason the Harpy is left unchecked. But, I mean, it doesn't stop the enemy if you're losing, and if you're winning, well, I know, I mean, it's relatively easy to kill off. So, I know, I think I'll go with the Lord of the Arena again. Yeah, the Warlock is useless. Basically, I would really prefer cheaper guys, but that's what fate has for me. So I'll just try to be a man, take the Lord, and go on. Okay, the Blood Imp is the obvious pick here. I like the Gnomish Inventor. It's a little bit expensive, but it's useful. It produces card advantage. 4 toughness is good enough to survive most random creatures. I would consider taking a Soulfire if I didn't have 2 already, and I need more first drops. So the Blood Imp is pretty good. Note that if he doesn't die to something random, like Explosive Nova or Cone of Frost or something, he's very useful. It can produce subtle card advantage over time. Yeah. By the way, I forgot to tell you, a neat trick with the Void Terror and a Power Overwhelming. Yeah, you pump a guy, the guy attacks or trades or whatever, and then you go and play a Void Terror, sacrificing the guy with the Power Overwhelming, and I mean, it can't die since it's already dead, and the Void Terror becomes monstrous, which is cool. Okay, obvious pick, very decent first drop. Starting to worry when what will happen if I play against a mage that will just ping off my dudes one by one, but nah, I'm kidding, it's not that bad. Obvious pick here, the Flame Imp, which is really amazing. Like, I think it's the best first drop in the game at the moment, at least in arena gameplay. Okay, this has been an interesting pick. Let's count the number of spells I have for the Teacher. Of 1, 2, 3, 4, which is average. Don't forget that all the spells are gonna be probably laying around in my hand, right? Because I probably won't play them, the moment I get it. And it's a pretty solid body for 4 mana. Shadow Flame, it can sometimes it can be very strong, but it's situational. It's quite expensive. I'm just scared that it will often be too late. So I think I'll go with the Twilight Drake as the most solid pick. But if you go with a Violet Teacher, I think it's quite a reasonable choice as well. I mean, the Drake is slightly more aggressive, so I'll go with the Drake. Wonderful, another Flame Imp. I'm very happy. Sacrificial Pact we've discussed, and the 1/2 taunt, too little too late usually. So now I'm happy with my first drops. Okay, I feel that I have enough, so I won't take another Leper Gnome, mostly because I have good alternative options. Spellbreaker, very strong, solid body for 4 mana, and the Silence is often a removal spell, so let's see if I have enough demons to make the Demon Fire worth it. It can be a possibility to, first turn Flame Imp, second turn Demon Fire, the Imp, and, win this way, because you deal like, 10 damage only with the Imp, and then he has to deal with it, etc. But, so I have 2 Imps, 3 Imps, Infernal, and I think basically, and a Voidture. So actually, number-wise, it's good enough, right? It can be somewhat weak, but the removal spell can be a pump spell. It's versatile since I have quite a lot of demons, but I think I'll go with the Spellbreaker. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I need removal spells for, other things. Right now the only really hard removal is Siphon Soul I have in the deck, and though I hope I won't, get so far as to actually needing it. It's a difficult dilemma. I don't know. I like the Spellbreaker more, but Demon Fire is quite solid as well. Wow. Both are actually pretty good, but I'm gonna go with the Flame Imp. It simply is that much stronger than any other first drop. By the way, the Frost Elemental is quite good. I underestimated it at first, but nowadays I know better. The Mad Bomber is very useful. In this deck specifically, I'm pretty scared that it will, kill my guys if I play it on the first turn. But usually he's better than he seems, especially in like a mage deck or rook deck or anything that can ping. I'll go with the Flaming. Okay, Shadow Bolt, solid spell. Trades with pretty much any third drop. The champion is actually pretty good, especially in my, win deck, but I have enough expensive guys already, so I'll go with the removal spell. No question about it. Okay, usually I would go for the Ogre. It's very strong. It's very cost effective for its stats. But in this specific deck, I feel that I have enough top-heavy guys, and definitely not enough 2-drops. Okay, I don't really want to draw a card on my second turn. I don't want that to be the only thing I do. So I'll go with the somewhat weaker Bloodfen Raptor due to mana curve issues. and kiss my ogre goodbye. Oh my god. Number 4 Flame Imp. Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna go for the number 4 Flame Imp. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Wow. Yeah, I have a Spellbreaker already. I like cheap guys, and this looks like a really aggressive deck, which is what I was hoping for to draft with the Warlock. This is easy. Magma Rager is really bad. I mean, if he had charge, he would be overpowered. But since he doesn't, it's really weak. It will never survive anything. The Berserker is very cost effective. It's, you know, straight out better than my Bloodsail Raider, and I need 2 drops. No brainer. Okay, great. That's actually an interesting dilemma. The Grunt is too weak. 2/2 taunt is not good enough. I like the Panther since it has stealth, and then it can randomly, you know, trade with his 4-drop or something, for like with his Magi, or, you know, prevent him from playing said ogre Magi. But I have quite a few damage spells, right? I have 1, 2, 3 damage spells. Well, that's not enough to warrant an ogre, and yeah, I'm gonna go with the Panther. It's more aggressive, it's cheaper. Yeah. Okay, I think I'll go with the Shieldmaster, even though the Panther is still good, but the Shieldmaster is more cost effective. To balance out my mana curve a little bit, but mostly to protect my little guys from some big scary monster. Yep, so I'll go with the Shieldmaster. Last pick. Rare. Yay, Angry Chicken. No, don't take Angry Chicken. I'm gonna take the Cobra because it's cheaper and it's a removal. Well, sometimes it's a removal spell. Mostly because you know, I have 4 drops, quite a few 4 drops already. I don't have enough. I don't know. I'm always scared that I don't have enough removal spells, so I'm gonna go with the Cobra. And I might not have that many cards in hand by 4th turn. Yeah, if I have, you know, 1st drop, 2nd drop, 3rd drop, yeah, you get the point. Yep, Cobra it is, and we're ready to play. The most interesting part is, of course, the four Flame Imps. I really hope I don't scrap out with this deck. The deck seems to be quite strong. I'm not very happy with 2 Lords of the Arena. They're, you know, like, they're not really related to the theme of the deck. I'm very interested in what will happen with the Voiter. I hope I won't suck. And that's about it. The idea is to play a lot of small creatures, be very aggressive, let him think about how to stop me and not the other way around. And take out his key defenders using, you know, Soulfire and Power Overwhelming and Shadow Bolt. Okay, guys, thanks for watching. Wish me luck. That's it.